Are you considering buying or selling real estate in the Philippines, but unsure about the costs involved? Let's break it down for you. For sellers, you'll need to factor in the capital gains tax, which is 6% of the selling price or fair market value, whichever is higher. There's also the broker's commission fee with a 5% standard rate of the selling price. And you'll also need to pay any unpaid yearly real property tax based on the rate of assessor's office. And here's a very important capital gains tax note. Sellers not habitually engaged in real estate business pay capital gains tax equivalent to 6% of the gross selling price or fair market value, whichever is higher, while exemption is given to such seller who is disposing of his principal residence and intends to use the proceeds to build or purchase a new property as principal residence within 18 months of the date of sale. The exemption may be availed only once every 10 years. Buyers, on the other hand, need to prepare for expenses such as documentary stamps tax, which is 1.5% of selling price or fair market value, whichever is higher. Transfer tax. This rate depends on location of property, but normally ranges from 0.5% to 0.75% of the selling price or fair market value, whichever is higher. Registration fee. This is a graduated rate based on selling price and ranges from 0.25% to 0.75%. Notarial fee is 1% to 2% as a standard, but is negotiable. Real estate taxes for the remaining months of the year based on the date of full payment. Let's walk through an example of seller costs using a property valued at 5 million peso to give you an idea how much the seller will pay. The capital gains tax of 6% will cost 300,000 peso. The broker's commission fee of 5% will cost 250,000 peso. And figuring a quarterly real property tax of 7,500 peso, let's assume seller pays 2 quarters worth of real property tax that will cost 15,000 peso. The total estimated selling cost for this property, valued at 5 million peso, is 565,000 peso. And now let's walk through an example of buyer costs using the same property valued at 5 million peso to give you an idea how much money a buyer will need to purchase this property. The documentary stamps tax of 1.5% will cost 75,000 peso. The transfer tax of 0.5% to 0.75% will cost 25,000 peso, calculated at 0.5%. The registration fee of 0.25% to 0.75% will cost 25,000 peso, calculated at 0.5%. The notarial fee of 1 to 2% will cost 50,000 peso, calculated at 1%. And figuring a quarterly real property tax of 7,500 peso, let's assume buyer pays 2 quarters worth of real property tax that will cost 15,000 peso. The total estimated buyer cost for this property valued at 5 million peso is 190,000 peso. Purchasing and selling property entail knowing what these costs are, especially for first-timers. Although they are not really hidden, you may have arrived at that perception due to your broker's failure to properly disclose the costs. Understanding what they are, how much extra needs to be spent, and who is responsible for paying them is essential. Many homeowner associations or condominium associations charge a monthly or annual tax that is used to maintain the property and grounds. On occasion, a buyer finds themselves paying for an overlooked seller fine, or interest charge. And a buyer must not overlook the costs for utility connections such as water, electricity, cable, and internet. Additionally, the buyer may need to pay for overlooked repairs that a home inspection did not identify, such as electrical, plumbing, or structural issues. The buyer may also choose to purchase property insurance to protect their investment from flood, fire, theft, and acts of God. Whether you're selling or buying, understanding the costs involved in Philippine real estate transactions is crucial for a smooth and successful deal. If you have found value in this video, a big thumb up is appreciated. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more real estate tips and insights.